Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 102 on my countdown to retirement. So, before I went to sleep last night, my wife informed me that both of the LED bulbs in her closet had burnt, well, they flashed and then they burnt out. So, that was in addition to one bulb in the master bathroom, one bulb in the guest bathroom, and apparently one bulb in our living room. So, I told her I'd take care of it tomorrow, which is today. So this morning I got up, I made some bacon for breakfast, and then I shopped around for replacement daylight LED bulbs. That's what we use throughout our house, with some minor exceptions where we have a couple of lamps that have still soft white bulbs in them for either reading or a desk lamp. But pretty much everywhere else, all of the hi-hats, all of the main light fixtures in the house all have 5,000 Kelvin daylight bulbs because I, I like it to be bright when I go into a room. And also, I guess as I've aged, and even though my ophthalmologist tells me that, I have very slight cataracts, it unless it's bright, I have a harder time seeing the different objects in a room, and so I just prefer that. Plus, the daylight bulbs make the colors be more representative of what they really are versus, a softer coloring, which gives more of a yellowish tint to things. Anyway, shopped around and ultimately found the bulbs I wanted at Home Depot. I could have saved a few dollars if I decided to have bulbs shipped to me from Walmart, but it would have been less than $3 savings across all the bulbs that I ended up buying. So figured out three different wattages that I needed for the lumens. I wanted a 60 watt equivalent, a 75 watt equivalent, and a 100 watt equivalent. So then drove over to the Home Depot, and then I ended up buying one package of 4 of the Philips 100 watt equivalent non-dimmable bulbs. They're 1500 lumens. Then I got 2 packages of 4 of the 75 watt equivalent, again Philips bulbs. They're 1000 lumens each. And then I got 4 packages of 4 of the Philips 60 watt non-dimmable LED bulbs. Again, all daylight. They're 800 lumens. And so the thing that I like about these particular bulbs is that I don't have, they're compatible both for, and they're suitable for both enclosed containers. So like if you have a ceiling lamp that's got a lid on it, or a dome light, like you can put it in there, you don't have to worry about a fire. They're also rated for damp conditions, so you can put them in a bathroom. So I don't have to worry about getting specialized bulbs based on the location that I'm going to place them. So on the 100 watt bulbs, they end up costing me $11.98 for a package of 4, or $3 a bulb. The 75 watt bulbs package of 4 was $9.98 a package, so $2.50 a bulb. And the 60 watt package of 4 was $6.98 a bulb, or $1.75. So all the bulbs have a 3-year warranty. The other thing that I found, and by the way, these bulbs, whether it's Philips or some other brand, I've never had them ever last for what's on the container, whether they say 9 years, 11 years, whatever. Usually a year, 2 years max, and these things burnt out. So one of the things that I found out was, well, twofold. One, if you buy something on a Home Depot credit card, you can return it for up to a year. If you buy it on any other credit card or with cash, it's either 30 or 90 days that you can return it. So that's one thing. The second thing I found out is if you keep the original box and the original receipt, you can bring them back when they burn out in any time up to whatever the warranty period is. And like I said, on this, they're 3 years. So if they burn out in 3 years, I can take it back to Home Depot and they'll give me brand new bulbs. So I was like, okay, because I bought enough of them. So I actually have a box out in the garage now with the sub boxes in there with the date that I bought them on, with a piece of tape, blue tape on the box, telling me when I bought them, And then I have the receipt taped to the top of the box so that if they burnt out and in that time period, I can return the bulbs and get a new bulb without having to spend additional money. Net net, on the cost of the bulbs, they ended up being $59.86. Plus, where I live in Georgia, there's a 6% sales tax. So it ended up costing me $63.45 for 28 bulbs. So that ended up being $2.27 per bulb, inclusive of tax. So with the bulbs that we got, I should be good for another year, regardless of which things burn out in my house going forward. I should be able to not have to go out and buy a new bulb, either the bulbs that I've currently got, or I should be able to return them and get a replacement bulb again without having to pay additional money. We'll see if that actually works out. Then after buying the bulbs, based on where we were at that Home Depot on the way home, we stopped at Chinese restaurant that we like for lunch. And then since after tomorrow, I'll only have 100 days left until retirement, I decided to seriously focus on my diet into the home stretch. So I'm going to be switching to single ingredient foods that are low carb and throw in a little bit of intermittent fasting and exercise for good measure. And hopefully between now and the official retirement date, I'll drop a little bit of weight, but I'll get myself into a better condition, by that time. And then, as I indicated yesterday, I did some additional research and decided that I'm going to go with the 6-week T-bills. So I put in the order for cusp ID 912797QP5, which is the 6-week T-bill that'll go off on Tuesday at auction. It matures on November 6th. So that's in between the final two Fed meetings. So the next Fed meeting is October 28th and 29th. So on the 29th, they'll release what they're going to do. And then the last one of the year is December 9th and 10th. And so on December 10th, they'll release whatever they're going to do. So by figuring out what they do in October, I'll decide if I'm going to go and do something and extend further, in time duration for the next set of T-bills. But for right now, that's my plan. Then I took about an hour nap, got up, and then I still really wasn't that hungry from lunch, so I just made a bowl of New England clam chowder for my dinner. And then I sat down and I watched a couple old episodes of NCIS, and that was my day. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great evening, and until tomorrow, take care.